What if you could help a child that might have developmental disabilities just by observing their developmental milestones? Early detection and early child development is important because it's going to help make sure that the child is hitting their developmental milestones. It will make sure that the child is physically growing correctly and to be able to obtain the necessary services for the child. As we all know, the beginning years of a child's life is the most crucial. This is the time where a child is at their peak health. They have acquired most or all of their social, emotional, and educational needs. Of course, a child needs to be nurtured and needs to have shelter and be provided with food. Amongst all of these things that a child needs, developmental milestones is the most important. Why do you ask why do you ask these are most important? Because this is how you can tell if there's something wrong with a child or not. According to the CDC, developmental milestones are things such as a child taking their first steps, smiling for the first time, and being able to wave hello or goodbye. Throughout the growth of a child, they will hit milestones in how they play, how they learn, and or speak. Those are just to name a few. When a child has physical growths, they are known as gross motor skills. These skills use the large parts of the body all the way up to the entire body. Physical developments in growing children usually consist of holding their heads up on their own, holding things in their hand by themselves, crawling, and eventually walking. As children's physical abilities grow, they begin to advance in things such as running, jumping, and hopping. They can also do things like throwing and catching balls as well. Physical developments continue throughout a child's life. It is important to make sure that the child is hitting their physical developmental milestones as well as being seen by a physician. The physician can observe and make sure that the child is definitely on track with the healthy physical requirements for his or her age. If anyone has any concerns about a child's development, the physician will conduct the developmental screening. What is a developmental screening, you might be wondering? Well, a developmental screening is something that takes a closer look in a child's development. This brief test or questionnaire is used for developmental and behavioral screenings that are done on a child's development, such as speech, movement, and emotions. These screenings can be performed by a physician or a nurse or another healthcare professional, the community, and or a school setting. Taking the necessary steps to find out something is wrong with the child is the first and the most important step that an adult is ever going to have to take with the child. Now, after that has been accomplished, it's time to find and obtain special services for the child that can be of some tremendous help. According to the CDC, there are early intervention services that can help children from birth all the way up until they're 3 years of age. And those services will help them learn very important skills that they need on an everyday basis, which is social emotional skills, speech, and physical skills. For those who are 3 years old or older that have a developmental delay or disability will definitely need to be placed in the special education and be provided with services through them. Therapy services can range from speech therapy, physical therapy, and learning how to interact with adults and peers. Research that has been done according to the CDC states that in the United States, about 1 in every 6 children that range from ages 3 to 17 years old have one or more developmental or behavioral disabilities, such as autism, a learning disorder, and or ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. This piece of information shows how crucial it is for early detection in a child's development. It is important for the adults responsible for the children or the child to make sure that they are hitting their developmental milestones, make sure that the child is physically growing correctly, and will be able to obtain the necessary services for the child if any developmental disabilities may appear. I thank you for listening to my speech.